Flash your time with TripleG. Brace yourself for the things you'll see. From comic books to toys and more. And all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff. We love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
Well, hello. You intro. What do you think?
That was
like
great.
You've been hanging around with Jacob's toys too much, haven't you?
Yes, I wrote that
up on you already.
Yeah. Simon sung it for us, didn't you, Simon?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Good. We've got our usual stuff tonight, guys. We're going to do some toy news. Before we get into that, we have got some pop culture stuff I want to cover. But before we do that, how are you? We've got Mr. Keegan. How are you, James?
I'm very well. I'm excited. I love monthly. I'm sure I've said this 3 or 4 times now at the start of every show, but my monthly feels like very long to do this because it's like this. I love talking about this stuff. It's good.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a long time between episodes. But on the other side, could we cope with Simon every week?
That's a fair point.
I'm not sure. Speaking of Simon, how are you, Simon? How are you? What are you doing? What are you playing on your phone? No, you're not playing. What are you looking at down there then?
I'm writing names down because I don't know all my names.
I love how you left it until the show is started to get this done. You're like the kid at the back of the class.
Busy working, man. I've been busy time. I've literally only just finished work, really.
Are you doing your homework ready for the slides? Because we might ask you questions. Is that what you're doing? It's nice to see you, Simon. I've missed you. It's nice to see you. And we've got the good old super Sorrel. How are you, Sorrel? Are you well?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. Lots of interesting toy news, and I'm hoping a little bit later on you might spill the beans a little bit because you've been to a toy show recently, and it was a little bit special, I think. So
it was awesome.
Yeah, we'll get some Jen about that in a bit. We've got Von Hoot in the house. Nice to see you, Von Hoot. We've got Andy. Always good to see you, Andy. We've got Jack. How you doing, Jack? I hope you're well. We've got Mr. Deacon himself, Wayne. And oh God, do you follow Wayne Deacon, guys? If you don't, you need to follow Wayne Deacon. He's on YouTube, but he's on Instagram as well. Some of the videos he puts out. So he's just done one. He filmed himself singing. What you call it? Is it Bjork? It's
Bjork,
so quiet. Singing that at a toy comic fair thing, and by the gods, it's burnt into my eyes. Do you know what I mean? It's the kind of thing you'll not forget. But do check out his channel. He's got some great content. We've got the main man, Fuzzy of the Dunlop. We're gwan, oi, oi, savaloy.
That's wagwan, oi, oi, savaloy.
Okay. What language is that then? What language is that?
Rastafarian, I think.
Rastafarian, wagwan.
Is it? Wagwan. Okay. I knew that. Right, chaps. Okay, we are here to talk toys. We've got some interesting stuff to cover. Before we do that, holy shit, we have to talk about this. Have you guys all seen this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I've got my thoughts, but I'm going to start at the bottom and work our way up, just because I like to see Mr. Keegan get irritated that he doesn't get to see what he wants first.
No, it's because people tend to take the points I was going to say.
Exactly. I know. I know that.
Okay.
I know, but I like to see the frustration in kind of building. So, Simon, what did you think of this trailer?
I loved it. It's everything we really want from a Fantastic Four. The Thing looks like the Thing, and it doesn't look like the weird rock one like previously. So it is the Thing, and everything. And I think what I like about it is, by the looks of it, they've introduced like how they were made, but very quickly. So it's not like the other Fantastic Four having to redo and remake.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely agree. Sorrel, we're talking before the show. Do you think this is set in our current MCU? What do you think is going on in the trailer?
I don't know. It's one of them ones. Like, it'd be cool if it was. It probably isn't, but it'd be cool if it was set in the current MCU, and that something happens to them during this storyline that takes them out of their timeline before the Avenger Initiative kicks in. But then again, why wouldn't they have been referenced? There's a lot of red tape there, but there's got to be something. But if it is a separate universe, I'm hoping this is the same universe that maybe is it called Photon went to, and we saw Hyperboy.
Yeah, it was Beast. Yeah.
Xavier and all that was going to be in that universe. So that could be a way of having an alternate timeline not linked to the Avengers for Fantastic Four and X-Men to kind of come up now without having to worry about anything that's happened previously with Spider-Man, or you know what I mean? Like, it gives them a fresh playing field.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great point. And I was mentioning before the show, if you look closely at Reed Richards' whiteboard, he's doing a lot of stuff about wormholes and things. So there's got to be some kind of reality, timey-wimey stuff goes on to bring either these characters into our universe, or like you say, make our universe forget about them or something.
How cool would it be, though, to see Reed Richards working alongside the new Charles Xavier? Because that could be there. Because obviously in the comic books, Reed Richards designed the costumes for the X-Men.
That's right. Unstable molecules.
So Reed Richards, it could be there, and maybe even a cheeky cameo, maybe from Robert Downey Jr. playing his own father or something. You know,
that would be very cool. Yeah,
that could be how they work Doctor Doom into it somehow.
I mean, there's been some rumblings and rumors, hasn't there, that some of the previous actors who played Reed Richards are going to be in it. So we might get a council of Reeds, which would be superb.
But what about a moment, even as something as simple as seeing the shield being made by, or even a frozen Captain America or still on ice?
Yeah,
like they've just dug him up. You know what I mean? Because in the '60s, in the comic books in the '60s, they thought about, but in the films, it was a lot later, wasn't it? Because he appeared in Times Square, so it was a lot later on. So
lots to be excited about. James. I'm going to ask you in specific, what did you think of the use of the powers in terms of special effects, but also the big guy at the end? What did you think of him?
I thought the thing looked great. I thought like a very Jack Kirby style face on him and everything. So like it takes a second to adjust to like the CG because like I'm so used to the Michael Chiklis version, but I think like it's in terms of the design, it's like almost flawless. Invisible Woman, we got like a little bit of that, so that was pretty cool. We only saw a little bit of Human Torch, and we didn't really see anything of Reed doing anything. I think part of that is to hold something back for like the next trailer or something. I think another part of that is that is an effect that people often think looks goofy.
Do you know what? I was thinking this myself, James, because I was thinking after the bloody slaughtering the Superman trailer got because of his eyes or whatever the hell people were picking at, Marvel are probably cracking themselves that people are going to rip this to shreds. Probably. And like you say, the stretching effect is a hard one to make look cool. Yeah. It worked a little bit in One Piece. That was fun, but you kind of accepted that was an anime kind of style thing. I don't know how it fits in this universe.
I think you just have to use it in a really interesting way. I think that's probably how you get around it. But you're going to have parts where we have seen it like in like Doctor Doom or Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. We saw him using it there, and like that looked weird too. As for the universe, I think this just is completely segmented. I think there might be a couple of like ancillary characters, but I think for the most part, like this is just the Fantastic Four in this universe. I think this universe is probably going to get eaten by Galactus. Yeah. So that's why they can't go back, and that's why they're going to be in the current the MCU timeline.
I think what we're probably going to get at some point is in the comics. We've got Secret Wars coming out, and people kind of, I've actually done a video on this, I think. People assume that we're talking about the original Battle World, Secret Wars, and all that kind of stuff. But there was Secret Wars after that, more recently by Jonathan Hickman, which was all about something called incursions, which were where alternate realities, different universes collide and basically wipe each other out. So I think that's probably something that we're going to get here. We'll get different universes and multiverses hitting.
Like you have to explain why they don't return.
Yeah.
Unless they do, which is possible. But then I think you want them in the kind of current universe.
What about Galactus?
Fantastic. I mean, just seeing the shadow of the horns and everything, and like the back of him and stuff is just like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah. So like, it is like it's nice that they're not doing Doom again in this to get something different. It is weird that I would have thought of Galactus as like a phase-ending threat. So to see them whip him out in the first, because what do you do in the second movie, Mole Man? You can't do Mole Man after you did Galactus. So like, unless he's just sticking around.
No, you see, I think that's a good point. I think as we saw from the trailer, we're not jumping on here at the origin point. We're jumping on where the FF are well established. They've got a fan base. There's kids in the streets and all the rest of it. So this is the end game point of that universe. This is a Galactus level threat. By the end of it, the entire universe will be wiped out.
I did really like the fan thing, and I think I remember when this was announced, they referenced that as like the Beatles, A Hard Day Night, and so I think like the kind of adoration of the world, they've just captured the world, and they're the biggest people, they're the most famous people to ever exist in this. I think that's really cool. So
And that also makes for a really interesting dynamic if they do come into the MCU, because they'll be used to a level of popularity and fame.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe have their ego. Reed is a character who I think, his inflated ego is an element of that, so that'll be interesting as well.
Yeah.
But I also, I really love just the family angle that they're taking with this, where he says, "Yeah, we have dinner Sunday, no matter what."
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Like it was really nice to see, like these. We've only seen bits of how they interact with each other, but they seem to have like a good chemistry and they all fit together really well. So like,
it's a good cast.
Looks like a blast. Yeah.
Von Hoot, I can explain why they haven't been in the MCU. They're in space, balls to alternate universes. That doesn't work with Von Hoot unless there's some kind
We're
of
seeing
memory
Jetson
thing.
style cars and stuff like that. Like it's not the past of the MCU. You know.
I think because John Malkovich, don't really know what his character is. People are saying he's going to be playing the Red Ghost, which is a very old Fantastic Four character. But I thought that as well, Fuzzy. I thought this could be Reed Richards' dad. I think Doomsday will be all about Earth X. He then helps Pedro's Reed in the multiverse and leads to the council route. Yeah, good point.
I didn't even know John Malkovich was in this.
Yeah, he's only in it for like one scene in the trailer.
No, I didn't know he was in the movie.
Oh, right.
So
he was rumored to be playing Mole Man, but I don't think he's playing Mole Man. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, lots of excitement about this trailer. I was hyped. It hit all my nostalgia buttons for us, chuffed to bits. But there was a bit more. Von Hoot is saying, to be fair, I've not watched the trailer. Give it a watch, Von Hoot. It's really cool. It is really cool. There's quite a bit more of kind of geeky type stuff happening this week. Tomorrow, we've got the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer hitting. We've had some stills for that. Looks pretty good. Sorrel, we were talking before we went live a little bit about horror films that are kind of, God, it's another one. Do you know, oh God, here comes another Saw or another whatever. Are we getting that way with Jurassic World? Do we want more dinosaurs?
I'm all in for Jurassic World. Big dinosaur movie guy. Can't go wrong with dinos.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. What about the rest of you guys? Are you looking forward to this?
It all comes down to if it's
Always.
good, do you know?
Yeah.
I really like Jurassic. I've never been excited for any of these. I go see them though. And I thought World, like I came out that was really great. And then the next two I was sort of like they were fine. So I'm hoping that trailer blows me away and like it has a really cool angle and a really cool twist, you know, like but like the nostalgia baiting doesn't work on me. So like, I just judge these movies as they are. So like the first one's obviously amazing. World is really, really good. And the rest of them are just kind of like fine, you know.
You know, for me, it's just a kid and it's big dinosaurs, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm happy with big dinosaurs running around munching things. I personally didn't particularly like the last one. I thought the legacy character inclusion was just a bit too much. It didn't work.
Very forced.
You know, yeah. I'm hyper, man. Sorry.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, I'm really looking forward to though. I think is it next year where we're going to be getting the Jurassic Park sort of reimagined, which is going to be more book accurate. It's been given an R rating straight away. It's not going to be a kids movie. I'm looking forward to that more than anything because that if they make a book accurate version, that'll be dark.
I don't think I've heard much about that, Sorrel. I didn't realize we were doing that.
Oh yeah, it's been in the works for a long time. It's been in the works for a while now, but I think it's like either next year or the year after. And it's already been. I mean, Universal's already said it's happening. They're using the original Jurassic Park logos, and it's going to be the book version of Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton's version. Not they're not basing it on the original movie. Could
be fun. Could be fun.
That rating attached to it could be amazing.
Yeah. Fuzzy's just saying the posters for Fantastic Four do smell a bit AI. They do, Fuzzy. I thought that myself, to be honest. They're an odd design. Super Bowl Sunday, plenty of new trailers. Yeah. Any bit of the Super Bowl I'm interested in, to be fair. Tragedy, nice to see you. Hope you're well, bud. Can't wait for Invincible Season 3. I just wish they had produced it faster. We're barely to the good bits in the show. Can't wait for the Viltrillium War. Absolutely. So we have got Invincible Season 3 starting this week, February. We've got episodes 1 and 3 dropping at the same time. I am hyper for this. I'm a massive Invincible fan. Read the entire season. And just as Tragedy says, we've got some great stuff coming. If you've read the series, you'll know we've got some epic episodes. And I've got absolute faith that they'll do it justice based on what they've done in the previous episodes. They didn't shy away from taking down the Global Guardians and things like that. So, I'm hyper for this. Are you guys fans of this series?
I watched the first 2 episodes and I just fell off of it. And I was enjoying it. I don't know why I did. I have to get back. I think it's like for an animated, I find a 45, 50-minute per episode animated series kind of
for me,
to get through.
It is very similar. The animated series is very similar to the book. There's not action every 5 minutes. There's a lot of character development and story and stuff like that. So it can feel like it's a bit of a slog sometimes, I guess. But I stick with it because the overarching story and narrative is just so engaging. It's a great read. Love it. So hyper for that. Lots of people in the chat are hyper. Conquest is going to be amazing. Jack, tomorrow, is it February the 6th or the 8th? Can't remember. I can't read that. Is that 8th? February the 8th, I think.
That says 6th, doesn't it?
Is that a 6 or an 8?
Yeah, episode 1 to 3 on the 6th and February 13th onwards.
Yeah.
Love Invincible. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, same, Phil. Same. But the best news of the entire week. Can you guess what it is for a geek like me?
Mm.
Oh, sexy Sarah.
Buffy.
Now,
Oh.
we were just talking about this like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, when we did One Good Scare about like, oh, they should do a reboot of this. Why haven't they done a reboot? And sure enough.
But you know
There you
what?
go.
I think lots of people, because Sarah Michelle Gellar has not done a great deal for a few years. And then she's come back in the new Dexter prequel. And she's phenomenal. And do you know what? She looks pretty much the same as she's always looked. She's stunning. And yeah, I am just hyper for this.
It's for Hulu.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a Hulu series. They're just doing a pilot at the moment. Obviously, this is going to be hugely popular and pick up.
Yeah.
Do you think she's the main character, or do you think this will be like a pass up the torch kind of thing?
I think she's already passed the torch. So I think this will be like a Buffy school. Because as much as I love her, she's probably not. It'll be hard to sell her out fighting vampires and things like that. You know, that's
Right.
it. Whereas having a kind of almost a kind of a Strange Academy thing where you've got her, a Watcher, Giles maybe he's coming back. God, Angel coming back would be amazing. You know, all those characters training the new generation.
Oh, Angel's back. Spike will be back. Fucking
Yeah.
everybody's coming back for this thing. Everyone show up, even
By
if
the
they're
end-
dead.
By the end of the program, though, she was no longer the Slayer, was she? Because she died, and it got past to Faith, if I want to say.
No. So no, you're right. So yeah, she got past the Fae, and then to fight to beat the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
They made it so anybody who could have been a Slayer was a Slayer. So there
Right.
was hundreds of Slayers. A lot of them got bumped off, like in the end. But there was like a school bus full of them by the end. The last episode, driving away from the crater that was Sunnydale or Sunnyville, whatever it's called.
It would be cool if they made her like the Watcher type character, so like make her the new Giles, and then she has to train the next Buffy kind of thing, the next Slayer. That'd be a cool way to do it.
And that's
As
your
long-
season finale, isn't it? That's your season finale where
I'm
Buffy's
for
got to
it.
come back out and fight. You know.
I'm for it as long as they don't do a musical episode because I hated that one.
Simon pissed right off. The musical episode, Once More with Feeling. In fact, Sorrel sang some of it on Sunday Night's Geek Show. That is one of the best episodes ever.
How can you not imagine that episode? As soon as someone says, "I've got a theory," it comes out in that tune instantly. I've got a theory that it's a demon, a dancing demon. That's something isn't right there.
It's a superb episode. Superb. Fuzzy is saying he's never read a single issue of Invincible. The show doesn't blow us away. Enjoyable though. It's worth reading the book, Fuzzy. It is a good read. Well, I enjoyed it. It's a good read. This has flop all over it. Sweet
Now,
Jesus.
I if you put his next comment, because when he said this, I'd been thinking, I can feel this becoming like a culture war thing. I could feel it's gonna have like it might have like a black female lead character, and people are just gonna lose their shit over it.
We've already had a black female slinger.
Yeah, but now it matters.
Killed very
It
quickly.
didn't matter. It didn't matter. I don't know. I just feel like that's the Buffy fandom might end up being like a toxic kind of thing, like Star Wars, like the way Fuzzy says there. Like I can we'll see.
I don't know, because to be fair, I hear what you're saying, but actually the entire last season of Buffy was exactly all about this. It was about a school of potential slayers and them arming them and getting them ready. So the fandom have already seen that element. People will want to see Buffy back fighting vampires.
I suppose it ties to like that thing you said about can we just have nice things?
Yeah.
Where this sounds like a nice thing, but then when it comes out, if it's not amazing,
Yeah.
You're just gonna hear
You get
people shitting on
backlash.
it constantly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, Fuzzy might potentially be right. Like I know it's exciting. I'm not a big Buffy fan, but like I would give it a shot.
Oh yeah,
But
I'll
like,
definitely give it a
I
go.
can imagine. Yeah.
Anyway, chaps, we're here to talk toys. So that is just a little bit of pop culture stuff going on, but we're here to talk action figures, and we're going to start off with a bit of a chant of one of us, because Simon has joined the 1/6 gang. Simon has bought a 1/6 scale. One of us.
One of us.
Simon, you've
Yeah.
bought a 1/6 scale. I haven't got a frigging clue what it is. Tell us what this
Vi,
is.
this is from the Arcane series that got loads. Is one of the best series I've ever watched last year, and is a must-watch. Obviously, I wanted to get Jinx, but she sold out. But then when I saw Vi, which is a sister with these gauntlets, I thought actually that's a cool figure, and
It does
I really
look cool.
want
I
that.
have to give you that.
Yeah.
It does look cool.
So,
Let me ask, because this is about the third League of Legends character now that's popped up. You had Jinx, and there was a previous one. I think
the previous one was a League one, but obviously
this is the second Arcane.
this
one.
is
Previously it was just League of Legends.
The first 1/6 scale figure wasn't associated with Arcane, so I was a bit hit miss. Now I do want to still get Jinx if I can, because obviously these two will go together.
They'll be around when she comes out. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'm going to try and get her at a later date, but obviously I pre-ordered this one first. So
It's a nice looking figure. Jack's saying it's a sick figure. He nearly bought it himself. How does she put her makeup on? It's like that. Exactly. It's not practical, Fuzzy. It's not practical.
the gauntlets, she takes them off.
All right. I see.
They're just gauntlets.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool, Simon. Very cool. So you've pre-ordered this. That'll be coming next year, quarter 1 or 2, I think, isn't it?
There should be some more announced, I think, coming, because obviously they're the two main ones, which is Jinx and Vi from the Arcane series. But I'm guessing they're going to do a couple of others as well. I wouldn't mind an Ambessa one, because I'm getting the book on Ambessa, and obviously I'm a big League of Legends fan, and I play a lot of League and everything, so I know pretty much all the characters. There's over 120 characters or more, so it goes on and on. Yeah, there's a lot of characters you could make figures from. So, if this is done really well, Hot Toys is going the right direction for it. So
very cool. Nice. Jack's saying, watch the show, Peter. It's looking amazing. I think my son watched some of it. I might have watched it when I was passing through the living room, kind of thing. I'll have to check that.
I watched the first episode and I just couldn't.
You need to.
I know. I want to try again because I've heard it's amazing.
So I told you, like, Arcane season 2, which, because there's only 2 seasons, got 9 or above rating on every episode, and it beat Breaking Bad
Very cool.
on every episode. So
I have to disagree with Fuzzy here. I find he's a bit dry.
How dare you?
In all honesty, I thought he did say Aunt Betty. It took me a minute. I'm like, that's not the name of the character, surely.
Ambessa.
Aunt Bessa.
Ambessa, her name is.
Ambessa.
Oh, Ambessa, not Aunt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would Ambessa be like the next logical, like the third main character of the show? Do you know what I mean? Like you have the 2 leads at this point. Who would be like the most obvious next choice? She would be.
It would be
like the villain of the show, or
not the villain was Victor in the end. So I think they are doing a Victor and then Jace. So they will be the next 2 figures, and then probably Ambessa, and hopefully a small Hammer Digger would be good.
I beg your pardon?
I'm a digger.
Hammer Digger.
Yeah.
You've got a small what, Simon?
The subtitles are going to have fun with that on YouTube later.
Jack's saying this. The animation is very pure Street James. Crazy. It played the game either. It's just quality show.
Tried it. I want to go back. Like I watched the first one. And I was like, this is okay. I like the world. I like the animation, but like I know it's one you just need to put up with. I'm sure. Like,
keep going. It'll be good.
Anyway, nice of you to pick up a 1/6 figure, Simon. I'm sure you'll love it. You'll have to bring it on the show when you get it in hand and show all it. James, bit of games news.
So sometimes you get a bit of news, right? That just makes you like keel over in pain. Like I actually had to I keeled over my kitchen counter when I heard this and just like had to take a deep breath. So Sony has canceled 2 live service games, right? From 2 fantastic studios. So one is Blue Point Games. So they are known for doing the Shadow of the Colossus remake, the Demon Souls remake, which I think is one of the best games on PS5. They're a remake studio. Sony bought them after they did Demon Souls. And like that's what they do. And so Sony bought them, and you would think, oh, logically, yeah, they're going to go back and take Sony franchises and do like remakes of those, and it's going to be awesome. So they were assigned to make a live service God of War game, which nobody wants, nobody's asked for. Worked on it since Demon Souls was November 2020, so worked on it for 5 years. Now it's just been scrapped, it's cancelled. So they're starting from scratch. So we're not going to get a game from Bluepoint for another 5, 6, 7 years at this point. So I'm a bit upset about that. I don't care that we're not getting a live service God of War game. Like, maybe it could have been cool, but I'm just like, why would you put that studio on that game? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And then the second game that was cancelled was from Ben Studio. So they, back in the day, they did the Siphon Filter series. They did Uncharted, Golden Abyss on the PlayStation Vita, and then their most recent game was Days Gone. It's like an open world zombie game. You're a biker kind of thing. We met the actor at the convention. Remember, Peter? I got it signed. My auto copy signed. The one I waited 4 hours for.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
So that released in 2019. So they were working on some kind of open world live service game again, and for 6 years, and that's been cancelled as well. So just those two studios starting from scratch. No game in the PS5 generation. This will make, I think, 7 cancelled live service games over the last like year and a half. So they cancelled the Twisted Metal live service game, which people wanted. They cancelled The Last of Us Online, which like everybody's pissed that they cancelled that, because Last of Us is like a good, like there's a proven track record of online games with that series. And like obviously, I think this is a reaction to Concord and the disaster of Concord and their attempt to get into live service. Like they've had, I think they, of their entire live service initiative, I think they announced 2 years ago they were doing 14 games or something like that. 2 have released and 1 shut down after 2 weeks. The other one is Helldivers. So Helldivers is obviously very successful.
Yeah.
So just disastrous, like and incredibly frustrating. And just, you know, these are talented studios that could have delivered something really incredible, and just the sheer incompetence of the management at Sony. We're getting no games from them just this generation. So yeah, this hurt. This was a bit of a kick.
Bit of a shitter. Interesting stuff.
My rant over. So there you go.
Yeah, I can see you tearing
about
up.
this for the
I can
last
see
week.
you tearing up. Yeah. Simon,
Yay, Star Wars. Can I rant now?
go on then. I swear to God, if you're going to talk about the boxes again, mate, no, I'm cutting you off.
No. I mean, the square boxes are a reason why I'm going to probably stop collecting Black Series. So, but I'm more annoyed that they announce these figures. I mean, people do want these figures, but it's on the Ahsoka line series, as you can see from the boxes. These figures were just on a flashback. That's what I mean. Hasbro's now making figures from flashbacks and things from the series.
All right. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Do you remember when Ahsoka had the flashback and she sees him and everything? And then they're just making figures on you know, and it's just I think Hasbro's just
what's the problem?
Figure. Well, we've already got a Rex and we haven't got a good Anakin, so it does look a good Anakin. But these could have been done in the Clone Wars set, not in.
Yeah, but like this is the like accurate Hayden Christensen, how he looked in that show.
Yeah.
Version. So I don't think that's unreasonable.
Both figures have been updated as well. Like the Anakin has now got cloth goods rather than that horrible plastic cape it had previously. It's got a new head sculpt, and Rex is now on the new pinless body as well. The previous incarnation was on the old clone body, so this is the brand new clone body. It's got the same head mine as the old one, but they are technically the same releases we've already had, but just on updated books. Basically, that's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think Hasbro, when they announce new things, there could be better figures. And do you know what I mean? Why keep adding to Ahsoka series? Like, I've got over, nearly 27 figures just in the Obi-Wan series alone. And like 3 of them are repeats of Obi-Wan and in different styles. And it's just annoying.
But why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because you just put these boxes sideways and display the side art. So does it really matter what the figure in the box is? You know, you're buying one puzzle piece in like a giant piece of artwork. You know.
Yeah.
Looking at the quality, looking at the quality of the figure, I have to say that Anakin's quite nice. I quite like that. I like the soft goods on it.
Yeah, it's good. I just don't think it should have been on the Ahsoka line series. Like, do you know what I mean? That's my only bugbear with it. So
but he's in
Ahsoka. Just
Ahsoka
on a flashback. Yeah, he is, but on a flashback. So
it's still in
the show. Sorry, what show is that flashback in? Simon?
the Clone Wars, so it should have been in the Clone Wars.
But they don't have a Clone Wars box, and they'd have to start
They
a whole
do.
new mural and a whole new box art just for 2 figures.
They've got Clone Wars, but they've got the Clone Wars. They could add
Yeah,
him
but is
on.
that not complete?
Simon, tell them about the droids. Tell them about
The
the
droids,
droids.
yeah, it's just a nice droid set that if people want to do collectors and droids, so that is actually on the vintage line though, so not the Black Series line. So yeah,
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see what people are seeing. He buys 1/6 scale figure and he's thrown in the towel with Black Series. Call yourself a fan. Where's Luke? He'd understand. C4 Dark means getting the Anakin. He's getting the Anakin. Good stuff. We've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Kenneth. Hope you are well. Fuzzy, it's taken him this long, bless him. Bet Simon was writing down the names of the main characters like Anakin. No, I know exactly what he's doing. I've seen one of his slides coming and he'll not have a clue who the characters are, so I know what he's been writing down. What was he writing down to remember? Rex or Anakin? Hard to remember. Simon,
okay.
yeah. Well, let's move on, Simon. Let's move on. A bit of 1/6 scale news. This is the Amazing Spider-Man from the new show, the new cartoon. You guys seen the new cartoon?
I haven't yet. I haven't had
No, I
chance to
saw it
hop
on
it.
Disney Plus.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You weren't as big of a fan, Sorrel, were you? But
No,
yeah,
it didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I thought it's fun. It's interesting. This is from Hot Toys, but it's from their Hono Studios, which are supposed to be the kind of the entry level figures, so a little bit cheaper than your standard Hot Toy because they're not paying for actors' likenesses and things like that. So far, the quality of the figures has been pretty good. I've got a Wolverine, which is pretty good. I think I've got another one. Can't remember which other one I've got. No, I didn't get the Iron Man. Can't remember anyway. I might only have the one.
Black Series Spider-Man?
No, I didn't get that. Little shit. But this is actually selling for around about 230 quid, which isn't cheap for an entry level Hot Toy. The Wolverine was about 175, I think. So they seem to be going up a little bit.
It's
in
interesting
value.
'cause when I saw it was Hono, I was like, oh, that's interesting. This looks like a bit more elaborate than the Hono figures typically are. So I assume that makes sense if the price is a bit higher. But you can also see like there's a kind of because it's animated style, like the fingers don't have much detail on them and stuff like that. So they're like, I think that's that the hands are sculpted plastic, I think, instead of So like there's I think it looks good in like it will look good on a shelf.
Yeah.
When
I
230
first
is
saw
like
this-
nearly just Hot Toys price at that stage. So
when I first saw this, I thought, oh, it's nice, but no, not for me. And then I've watched the cartoon and I've kind of really fallen in love with it. So
I
don't know.
hate the suit.
I'm
hate
tempted.
it.
The thing is,
it's
he's not going to be
awful.
in this suit for long. I don't think he's going to be in this suit.
Yeah,
for
he's
long. He already
going
has
into
this.
the white.
He's,
like
he's in the
Oscar
white for a
suit.
while, but yeah, we'll
yeah.
see. Fuzzy saying he loves the show, but the head's a bit of an odd shape. I think he's talking about you, Simon. But yeah, the figure looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool, I think.
Did you hear what happened with the voice actor?
He'd made some comments, hadn't he?
He went on a
And,
big
like,
rant about like how he was so happy the show's not like super woke and stuff. It's just like, man, shut up.
I think that's
commenting on that
he's probably done that because there's been an awful lot of online attack of the show
about like a black Harry Osborn and stuff. Like
and
that.
Jack saying, really getting pissed off with the race and gender swaps. Why can't we just get the character that we love from the comics? That's how it's meant to look.
Strong disagree. It's an alternate universe. Shake it up. One of my favorite things in Into the Spider-Verse was that reveal, like nearly halfway, where it's like, oh, this is a Doc Ock variant that we're getting.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Lydia Octavius. I thought that was such a great twist. I love that. And that's a really cool version of Doc Ock. So like,
It's a
do what you want.
challenging. It's a difficult conversation, I guess, about race swaps and gender swaps and things like that, because people have different views. I guess in my mind, I keep thinking if we didn't have gender swaps, I wouldn't have Captain Carter in my life, and I love me a bit of Peggy. So yeah, so I'm enjoying the cartoon, switching it, my brain into saying this isn't Spider-Man, this is an alternate take, an alternate universe of it. Sorry, Simon.
Marvel-
you say something?
So Marvel works on the many worlds theory. That's what Marvel is. It's
Yeah.
basically that there could be any version of any character at any point and in any time.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. They're all different, and that's why I think the Marvel as a whole, as a company, has been going for so long, because they're able to keep reimagining, re-envisioning, changing with the times as times move on. That's what they have to do to survive, surely.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. Can't get enough of it, Dark Man. Can't get it. I love it.
I can attest to that.
I love a good pegging. Love a good pegging. Anyway, moving on. A bit of Power Rangers news, Sorrel. What's this about?
Yeah, so as you guys know, I went to Toy Fair and got the first glimpses of the Playmates Power Rangers. It was very, very exciting. I was with Jacob's Toys from the Geek Week, and we got taken into a locked room, which was rather worrying because they shut the door behind you and locked it. And we're like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" And but then we got to see all the brand new Power Ranger stuff and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's gonna be a good year of nostalgia for this line.
Lots of good stuff coming. I mean, I've not really got a massive connection with Power Rangers, but I do appreciate them for what they are. Do you know what I mean? And I love the style, the design of them, and all the rest of it. I did have a slide to follow this, but I've taken it out because 3.0 have got a range of Power Rangers coming out from the Turbo line.
Yeah,
and I think that was always my worry with Power Rangers, that there's that many different iterations and versions that I'm a bit lost as to where I would even start.
So Playmates, this is what I love about this line. Hasbro, when they did it, they kind of picked and chose where they got the characters from, all over the the grid, as they call it, the universes. This time they're solely focusing on Mighty Morphin. They've confirmed the show is getting another big HD touch up, and it's going to be re-released. So the kids of today will get to see the original syndicated show, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
But they are only touching on Mighty Morphin for now. So they are following series 1 of the Power Rangers television series. So, think of those characters, and that's what you're going to get, basically. I can't really say much more, but basically there's going to be role play items, a line of toys, and it's all very nostalgic to what we had as kids. I can't confirm or deny, Simon, but it's going to be a retro line of toys. It is very. I remember these things look a lot like what I had as a kid.
Good time to be a Power Rangers fan, then.
Yeah.
Simon, are you a Power Rangers? Because you're a bit younger than us. Are you a Power Rangers fan?
I watched it, but I'm not a fan. No, I know, obviously. I watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I'm not like a massive fan.
Yeah. How about you, James?
Never cared for it. I think I watched bits and pieces of it, like when it was on Nickelodeon or Fox TV or whatever when I was a kid. But I never really gravitated towards it. So. It's
an interesting backstory to it as well, because Stan Lee tried to bring it over to America. He kind of discovered it overseas and then tried to fetch it to. I can't remember if he actually succeeded or not.
I think isn't it like it's a different thing in Japan and they brought it over, or not Transformers?
They've got Kamen Rider and other things in Japan, haven't they?
Yeah. So basically, Spider-Man was the one that Stan Lee inevitably ended up making, wasn't it? The original Japanese Spider-Man, because he has the big robot and stuff, and does the whole just like the Power Rangers do with weird hand movements, and they do all that. It's all that kind of stuff. But then Power Rangers was basically a Japanese series, Super Sentai, and they took the Japanese footage and then shot a load of American teenagers. So some of the characters, like the White Ranger, was never actually in I think it was called the Jew Power Rangers. That line was it was never anything to do with the White Ranger. They had to like CGI him in. If you can do that even back then, they had to like force him in basically and find footage with him with the other Rangers, because it didn't really exist. It was really hard to cut together apparently, but they just couldn't write Tommy Oliver off. Because he was such an iconic character, Jason David Frank. He was originally, when he got killed off as the Green Ranger, he was meant to go to VR Troopers. But they inevitably said, no, we need him as the White Ranger. He needs to come back. He's too popular. So they ended up putting the blonde guy who was the main guy in VR Troopers. He then got his own show, basically.
Right.
But yes, Saban has a massive thing of just bringing over the old Japanese stuff with all the toys attached to it, because he saw money. He knew what he was doing. The documentary on Netflix is immense. Because it's on that
Toys That Made Us.
The whole episode on it, and it's well worth a watch.
We're meant to be getting new episodes of that, aren't we? I'm sure.
We're getting two new series of it, new whole series.
Good stuff. So good time to be a Power Rangers fan. James, Bit more game news.
I thought this was very interesting. So, apparently, a bunch of like video game publishers are really hoping that Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6, Rockstar takes the initiative, Take-Two takes the initiative to charge $100 for it, because it effectively would justify them upping the price of their games. And it sort of sparked an interesting conversation around like how much games cost to make now and how the price hasn't really adjusted. Like, in a sense, games are kind of cheaper now than ever to buy, because back if they were 60 20 years ago, that money was worth less. You know what I mean? So like it's interesting. I think they could, if they charged €100, £100, $100 for it, I don't think you would lose. You would probably lose maybe 3% of the people that were going to buy it anyway. So I think it's very possible. Take-Two, which is the owner of Rockstar, was the first company to charge 70. So that was the jump from 60 to 70. So I think like a similar jump to 80. 100 would be very aggressive. But I could imagine like a jump to 80 for
I'm gonna call you out for a second, James. Normally we get wild accusations and claims from Simon. 3%. Did you just pluck that from your brain? What have you based that on?
Oh, that just feels like what it would be.
That's a very Simon-like thing to say.
Grand Theft Auto is its own, like, Grand Theft Auto is the biggest like entertainment IP in history in the world. Like, it's the most profitable one. Like, this will break every record that there is in terms of video game sales, in terms of how many people engage.
James,
with it. Yes.
Can I ask you why would they go and try and charge it for $100? Loads of people are going to go no. Why not go the route like Fortnite and go freemium and then just do in purchase?
Sweet Jesus Christ! Are you suggesting?
Yeah.
Not giving Grand Theft Auto 6 away for free?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Why
because that's how most other successful games are making, and studios making the money.
You do realize Grand Theft Auto Online is a paid product, and they make about $3 billion a year on shark cards and that. So why would they? They don't need to give it away for free.
I'm just saying, there's other studios that make most of their money just from doing it that way.
Other studios aren't Rockstar, Simon. This is the most expensive game ever made. This probably costs like, I think it's estimated in the region of like, billions of $3 billion or something like that to make this game. Mm-hmm. So like, obviously,
Man's out, James. Dark Man's out. He's not paying 100.
Not paying 100.
I'm not paying 100 for it.
I'm not paying 100.
I think the most likely route, because you see a lot of games do this, is that there will be some kind of like 100, 120 dollar, euro, pound version where you get it 5 days early, and there's like some fucking suits you get or something like that. Yeah, that's my guess of the route the middle ground that they're gonna hit with this. But I think if they want to charge 100, you're not gonna lose that many people.
I think 70 is the most I've ever paid for a game.
Well, it's interesting. Well, 70, you're talking about pounds. So like, Sony first party games charge €80, so that would be £70. So like, we have that jump already. So
and that was to get early release for 2 weeks and free stuff with it. So
well, I've paid like 150, 200 for like the collector's edition with the statue and stuff. But I think literally like a 5-day early access for like an extra 50 quid. Millions of people are going to pay that because they're not going to be the last person to play.
Let's not forget, this game cost what, 40, 50 quid when it came out, originally GTA 5, and people have had what, 12 years of fun playing it. The people that play it religiously online are not going to see 100 quid as a massive thing anymore. Yeah. Oh, you're going to get it's £100, but you know that GTA are not going to rush out GTA 7 anytime soon. They make games that last a generation.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has been in the top 10 best-selling games of the year every year since it released 12 years ago. So like, of course.
The fact that people like KSI and the Sidemen still make video game footage on it to this day shows you how popular it is. The big YouTubers still play it.
Yeah. The most successful live service game. When does Fortnite ever
When does it come out, James?
This is due this year. If it comes out, because Rockstar are notorious for just like every game they ever made got delayed, so it will probably push into next year. If it does come out this year, it would be around November. So you do have a lot of games listed for this year, and no developer really wants to, or publisher wants to put out a date because everyone's terrified of going 2 months either side of this game. Because you don't want to be out 3 weeks after Grand Theft Auto 6 because everyone's going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 6.
The truth is, I'm saying I wouldn't pay 100 quid. I wouldn't, because it's not a game I would.
If it was 100, if it was just like it's 100 day one, not grand.
But the point I'm making, I guess, is 100 quid these days, and no disrespect to anybody, but 100 quid these days isn't a massive sum of money when context of some of the stuff we pay for and we buy.
Yeah, well,
And I think
in terms of
Sorrel's
the
point is well made that it's £100 for at least whatever 5 years.
Years.
If it's a good game,
Yeah.
5 years worth of enjoyment, I suppose.
100%. Like it raises the question of should games scale? Like the more a game costs to make, should it cost more for you to buy? Like in terms of if the quality of it is higher, open world games should cost more than single player games, or multiplayer games cost more than single player games. Like it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Von Hoot saying VR Troopers was a bunch of horse, but Power Rangers is epic. Neither as good as Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Never even heard of it.
And nothing was as good as Big Bad Beetle Bugs. Big Bad Beetle
I
Bugs.
think I've seen that one, either. Okay. Simon.
Mhm.
Stop now. I saw you look down there.
What?
Eyes, Simon. Eyes connected with
Oh, yeah.
us on screen, right?
Yeah.
If we see you look down, we'll kick off, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Come on.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Come on.
Here
Come on,
we go.
Simon. You
Come
can do it. Come on, Simon.
So we've got the No Way From Home Electro, which
No Way
is
From
on the
Home?
box. Yeah.
No Way Home. Yeah.
No Way Home. Sorry.
Almost.
New Spider-Man. This one looks really cool. This Spider-Man because he's got spider sense on it, so that's like a really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen the figure out the box and it looks really cool. So that we're getting that one.
Pricey figure, that one, but isn't it? Remind us, Sorrel, how much did someone say on your show the other day? How much that was? Was it 50, 60 quid or something?
$38.99 for Electro.
No, the Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Sorry, we don't know. We still don't have a confirmed price yet. People are estimating around about 50 quid.
Is this them trying to kind of break into like the Mayfex, that kind of area?
Yeah.
Where it's
They
more
just-
accessories,
they
more
haven't- they just-
options.
Yeah, it's not going to work though. Not with Spider-Man anyway. Wrong character.
Okay. Simon, I did see you looking down there. Don't think we missed it.
Okay.
Don't think we missed it.
We've got Wolverine's son, which is Draken.
It's not tracking.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking down again. We're looking down.
Daken.
Yeah, Daken. We'll give you that time. I'll
Daken.
let you off. Simon. You don't know this.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Warlock.
Yep, Adam Warlock. I
Uh,
quite like that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
like that one.
not a figure I'm going to rush out and get, I don't think, but it's nice to have him, I guess.
Ultimate Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Rom.
Yeah, I love that.
And then Ultimate Iron Man and Banshee.
Nice. Yeah. We talked about these over on Sorrel's show a week or so ago. I love the ROM. I'll definitely be picking up the ROM. Banshee's quite nice. That's appealing. Ultimate Iron Man's just a bizarre choice of figures. I mean, that was from like a limited series when the Ultimate Universe first kicked off, but he didn't really stay in that armor for long, I don't think.
Nope.
It's a bit of an odd one, Daken's okay. What do you guys think? I mean, James, I know you don't collect this line. What do you think?
I have a few. I've just kind of moved over to the 1/6 stuff, but like occasionally there will be one that'll be like, oh, I'd like that one. I think in terms of like is this a wave? These announcements, was this an entire wave?
That's a wave.
That's a wave. I think it's a pretty strong weight. Like usually you have a couple of like, oh, that's a. That's just been chucked in here because some people kind of want it, but like you're really buying the other ones to get the Build-A-Figure or whatever. But I think like as a full wave of characters, it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I like the Rom one a lot. I love Rom. Just the design of him and stuff. So I think that's cool.
Fuzzy saying, is there a more boring figure than Miles Mince? It is a pretty dull looking figure, isn't it? Banshee is jumping out of his mind, I have to say.
I don't
So-
like the legs on that Miles Morales. I think I think Hasbro needs to be better with the pin legs and things. They can make them a lot better. So,
Sorrel, what are your thoughts on these?
Everyone's saying it's a strong wave, but it's still a Spider-Man, an Iron Man, and a Wolverine. Technically, it's still 3 characters we get time and time and time again, just different variations of them.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. If anything, Adam Warlock maybe, but the rest, not for me.
Yeah. Fuzzy saying the best Miles was him in the shorts and the hoodie. Yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look for Miles. An interesting wave. I'm pleased that Marvel Legends still does give random characters like Rom. I would have never have guessed we'd get a Rom figure. I mean, he's barely used in the comics anymore. So yeah, I do like that. This is interesting. This is So Toys 1/6 scale armored knight. It's obviously a version of the Frank Miller Batman armor, or the armor, I guess you'd argue, from Batman versus Superman. Light up eyes, 2 different mouthpieces. You get a gun. If you pre-order now, you get a kryptonite arrow. They haven't showed you the base because that's under development. I don't have this version in my collection. I was considering going back and picking up a hot toy version from the movie, but I think I like this more. I like this because it's more comic accurate. What do you guys think of it?
It's a chunky boy, isn't it?
He's a chunky monkey. He is a chunky. He's a chunky monkey. It's like me after me Sunday dinner. That, do you know what I mean? The costume's stretching to fit, but yeah.
But it is comic accurate though. Like I say, as much as I'm taking the piss there, it is very comic accurate. And I do like the look of it. I think they missed a trick using that style of costume in the movie, making him beefier to go up against Superman. I do like the big square head. That
I never noticed that he doesn't have a bat symbol on him.
Yeah, no,
I never noticed that before in the comics. Yeah. It looks really strong quality, like light up eyes and everything. Like So-So's getting very advanced, I think.
So do some great figures.
They have been a bit like lazy. Like I remember they had like a wave of like 6 or 7 figures they announced like in quick succession, and they've been quiet for a long time now. So I'm happy to see that they're making more stuff because there's like they seem to be the third party company that would like certain like particularly movie characters. I would love to see versions from them, even though they mostly seem to do comic stuff now.
They do a lot of comic stuff, but they predominantly do Warner Brothers TV stuff. So they've got a whole line of kind of Green Arrow. They've got all the Flash figures, all that kind of stuff. Mars Toys is the third party company to watch. They're doing all the Batman 66 stuff, and their figures are amazing quality. They've done Riddler, just pushed Alfred out. So some good stuff. I quite like this. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence. I've got a lot of Batman figures. I've got like a multiverse of Batman, so I don't know.
When it comes to Batman, and if you're wanting the 66, stay tuned to Beast Kingdom this year.
Yeah.
Beast Kingdom are going to be throwing out those 66 ones now. They've got the license. It's going to be insane.
And they're nice figures as well. I know I watched your video on.
They're 50 quid. They're really nice. They're so detailed for the price.
Yeah. Actually, Sorrel, for the next show, could you do a couple of slides on Beast Kingdom, just who they are and what kind of stuff they pushed out? Because it's not a company I'm particularly familiar with.
It's not a company any of us are familiar with in the UK, but the price point, they say they're an imported figure from Thailand. They're really good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm on the fence about this one, guys. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'd like to see what it looks like in hand. But as you say, James, so are buggers for putting out a promo image like this, and you hear nothing about the figure for 4 or 5 years, which does my head in. So
So the one that comic Thor that you
no
that
that was some made up name company that's never been heard of since.
Okay.
Bit like my Hella figure, which is a stunning figure. It's from Juice Girl Toys.
Well, I think though, like there's, if you put on paper, there's 15, 20 of these companies. There's really 4, I think. Or 5.
They just shift names.
And there's the shit ones and the great ones. Like they're probably all the same. Just for liability.
Yeah, it's just so they avoid getting caught because obviously
with 100 lawsuits per company. Yeah, exactly. So.
Sorrel. These are interesting. Don't know how I feel.
Yeah, so we've got the Masters of the Universe crossover with Thundercats, which is interesting. I'm wondering whether that's got some implications to the He-Man television series. I really do, because these are now reimagined versions of Thundercats to look like as if they belong on Eternia. So I do like the crossover with Skeletor and Mumra, though. That was really cool. But no, these are really cool looking figs. I'm really excited for them.
I mean, out of all of them, what I would say is the Lion-O. I don't really get a He-Man crossover. Really, it just looks a bit like Lion-O in a different.
I was gonna say, if not for the sword, I wouldn't even think that was.
They've been made to scale.
That is his sword, James. Sorry, that's the sword of omens. Do you know what I mean?
So you're right. Sorry, I thought that was the He-Man sword.
No, it's the sword of omens. Yeah.
He's got furry underpants. That's it. But then Lion-O. Oh no, Lion-O.
For me, it's the Battle Cat is the one where it's like that's a crossover. That's cool. I think I like that. I enjoy that.
They're the crossover, but they're not. They're their own. It's not like they're trying to be He-Man or anything. It's like basically these will scale with He-Man. So Lion-O is taller than He-Man, but if you look at the comic book, he was. So it's like these are made to go with your He-Mans to have the battles from the comic books, and it's what we've been asking for basically for a while, isn't it? I've mentioned it a few times. It's
getting a bit weird though, isn't it? Because we've had a Turtles Masters of the Universe crossover. We've now got Stranger Things crossover.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I'm. Do you know what? I always say the same thing. It's keeping both of these franchises alive to an extent with collectors, so I'm happy. Might not be for me, but I'm happy. But I think you're right, James. Out of all of those, I am a sucker for a Mumra figure, man. I do like that Skeletor. But it's the Battle Cat one that looks the best to me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are these freaky looking things?
So, Living Dead dolls. I've got a bunch of them on my top shelf. They've been doing licensed figures for the longest of times. Like, I've got the Nun and Annabelle and stuff like that. But they're going back to their roots and giving you the original Living Dead dolls. Because I had the original ones as a kid. And it's their own sort of like haunted dolls, basically. And this is Posey. But they've sort of modernized them so they come with multiple hands and multiple points of articulation and stuff like that. They're just really weird horror dolls, basically. When I was a kid, these used to come in little coffins about this big, and they had ropes around the neck so you could hang them on a physical noose. And it had a clip for your jeans, so you could clip them onto your wallet or your jeans, and they had like a proper noose and everything. Very, very weird. But the back, and these are quite high end nowadays. This toy is going to run you about 200 quid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie.
Faces and hands and all sorts and different accessories and things. So
I'm not going to lie. I'm not normally into that kind of thing, but they look creepy as fuck, and I quite like it. Do you know what I mean?
I've got none of the new ones, but I've got the old style Living Dead dolls on the top shelf. Like I've done loads of reviews of them on my channel.
Yeah.
They're over there.
Well, I always think of Living Dead dolls as almost like a Monster High adjacent kind of thing. Like, I think these are
So they've got their own version of a Damien, which is he's got like a fancy name, but it's not. It's meant to look like Damien, but it isn't. And they've got their own kind of version of Reagan. They did those two first, and now this is the third one, Posey. The Damien one though is awesome. He's got like he can change his like eyes so they go pure white and stuff like that. It's very cool. They're very weird little characters, but they are fun.
Peter would look cracking with a hanged doll hanging off his Levi's. I would. I could rock that. Yeah, cool. I quite like them. They're quite interesting. I'm surprised at the price point, but then looking at the quality of the head sculpt and stuff, they do look very detailed. I like the eyes. It's the eyes that are doing it for us, I think.
Yeah. My only thing is, if they could make those eyes glow, that'd be more terrifying than ever.
Nice.
I promise. This is the last time I ever have to mention this game again, because the game is over. It's done.
I think you said that the last time we talked about this.
There's more news than this, James. Come on.
There wasn't a huge amount this month, Simon. But
there is. I could have given you some. Ask me next time.
I got more. So I'll start with Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad has concluded like its live service kind of thing, so you can still play the game. Still online, but the developers aren't updating anymore. So like all the characters are out, all the story beats are out. So the game has an ending now, and it's so you know how when this game came out, there was a big controversy around like, this is the Arkham universe, is the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City version of Batman, and how that character is like treated in that game, where he's like shot and pissed on and stuff like that. So effectively the ending of the game, there's no cutscene because the game was so disastrous, like where there was only a few hundred people playing, that they just kind of like they had a longer term plan for this, and they've had to squeeze it down into like a year instead. So you get like an animatic, like a motion comic of Harley narration about how like they were about to fight Brainiac, and next thing Batman shows up and Superman shows up and everyone shows up and they're all still alive, and the ones that they killed during the game were clones.
See, that just pisses me off.
I think that was always the plan, but it's just like the way that this is panned out, like there's no amazing reveal cinematic or something like that, right?
Nobody cares anymore, do they? Nobody cares.
Exactly. So it's just shoot it dead, like it's done now. I do have the game now because it's free on PlayStation Plus. I also annoyingly bought it just before because it was a tenner. I said I'll just buy it just to give it a go. So I have that sealed. So maybe that'll be worth something someday because like
have you played it?
Unsold copies. Not yet. It's on PSN, but it's like 80.
So it's just going to be in your backlog with everything else.
I will play it eventually. I'm just out of curiosity. Once like they make everything free, because
that was passive aggressive, Simon. That was a little bit passive aggressive. Just saying.
Simon's a bit of a bitch tonight, isn't he?
He's finally fighting back. I'm here for it. I like it.
Yeah. And Multiverses is shutting down in May. So this is like a crazy turnaround for this game. So when this launched like a couple years ago, I think it was like something like 3-4 million people, but like not dissimilar to Marvel Rivals' success that's going through at the moment. So that is it had a whole thing where it was out, but it was technically a beta. But everybody kind of treated it as out. They were selling like season passes and cosmetics and things like that. And then player numbers started to dip because they weren't releasing stuff that quickly. And then the developer said, the beta's over now. We're going to take the game down and we'll be back next year with the full version. So it came back and like nobody really cared. So they released a few characters. There's like Jason from Friday 13th. There's like Neo from The Matrix, stuff like that. Nobody cares anymore. So they're shutting down. This final season will be the last one in May. The game is shutting down completely. So no online, like you won't be able to play it anymore online. You can still, if you have the game, you can play like local fights, I think, or like, you know, you can just play single player stuff like against the AI, but you won't be able to play it online anymore. So an unfortunate kind of end to a promising game, you know. I think it's a shame because like I played it and it's fun. I like it, you know. So
Yeah,
it's just like kind of like
Fuzzy likes you talking about it. He's gonna get all the clips of James talking about the game edited into a 90-minute video.
You know, I
to
would say
watch when I'm lonely.
I think it's only like 10 gigs or something like that. So if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation or PC or whatever, like the game's free, so you may as well download it because like you won't be able to download it anymore after that. Like it's vaporware then, you know, the game doesn't exist.
I think when this first came out, I have to say I did download it, and it was fun for free. You know what I mean? It was a fun little. So yeah,
I played quite a lot of it. Like I remember, like when it was dying as well, and I was like, I had no problem getting matches and stuff, and I was like, this is actually I'm pretty enjoying this. Like I think I put 20 hours or something like that into it. And then when it came back, I tried it again, and I was pissed off about like all my costumes are gone, everything that I put into the game was gone. And I didn't understand the new currency system and stuff like that. So my hope was that they were going to just like release all the cosmetics and stuff like that, like the way that the Avengers game did. But no, I think it's just shutting
got
down.
the Avengers game. Still not played it. I need to get onto that. I've got it.
Yeah. So like, Warner Brothers had a bad couple of years in terms of live service attempts. You know,
Simon.
Yes, McFarlane Toys. We've got Dark Flash, Icon, and Dark Tempest been announced. So these are pretty cool figures. And always when McFarlane Toys, I like their figures. So
I don't know the other two characters.
no,
Which are
me
the two
neither.
characters?
Icon or Tempest.
Yeah, from the Milestone universe, Icon. I think I'm not sure about Dark Tempest, but obviously he's a version of Tempest. Dark Flash is a really interesting one because that's a character who was only in a handful of Flash books. Really, he was it's Wally West from the future, basically, who comes back and he's watched Iris die in the future, so he comes back as a kind of a twisted version of the Flash, but he's not in it for long. But a very cool costume design. I always like the character. But yeah, an interest again. It's always nice, I think, that when you get characters that you're not expecting. I can't say I've ever really read much of him, but I don't recognize that particular costume. I don't know if that's an updated costume or not. I recognize the color scheme, but not the look of that one. Pardon me. And Tempest, back in the day, was Garth, who was an Atlantean magician, basically. But again, I don't recognize that version of him. But it's a long time since I've read Aquaman. Again, some nice figures, and as you say, Simon, McFarlane always do quality figures. So yeah, not bad. Anything else to say on those, Simon?
Nope.
Marvelous. This is interesting. So this is Deadpool's version of Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Not normally a one for fire effects and things like that, but I quite like that image of him on the side there with the flames raising up across his feet. Head sculpt. What are you?
It's interesting because
David Beckham.
Hot Toys have so much experience doing a perfect Chris Evans head sculpt, or like close to. Like, I know there's like some people say, "Oh, the Winter Soldier one looks too much like the Endgame look for him and stuff like that." But like generally, you look at them like for the last few years, you look at it and say, "That's Chris Evans." Whereas this, I'm just like, kind of when you look at it from a certain angle, yeah, but like it's sort of. I don't know what it like. He's too wrinkly. They made him look too old, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sold on it. It doesn't look like a Hot Toys level.
It looks third party.
Yeah, but like not good third party because we've seen third parties be really impressive. This is like a iffy third party one.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking probably in excess of £300 for this, so it's an easy pass for me. Fuzzy, exactly. It's a great head sculpt of someone. He just doesn't know who it is.
It looks like David Beckham and crossed with like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. it's a strange
Weird.
miss for me. And we've been getting a lot of this with Hot Toys lately, where the head sculpts just haven't been quite there. We've got another one coming up, which is announced today, which I'm interested in your thoughts on as well. But yeah, this is an easy pass for me. I do quite like the flame effect on his feet, but let's be honest, if I'm going to get a Human Torch, I'm waiting for the Fantastic Four Human Torch, probably.
Yeah.
I want a proper flame on Human Torch. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, not for me, that one. Bit of Funko action.
Yeah, this time I thought I'd only go for a couple of Funkos, and I went a bit Funko crazy last time. But these are Target exclusives, so probably here in the UK they'll more likely end up in Smiths or HMV. But these are the Turtles of Grayskull, so the Turtles crossover you mentioned a while back. These are pop vinyl versions, so it looks like we might get pops of the Turtles as well from the He-Man universe. So we've got a He-Man and a Skeletor here from that collection. I think it looks pretty cool. I do like the Skeletor. If all that green's glow in the dark as well, I'll be well happy.
He-Man looks like a Mortal Kombat character. I'm digging.
He does.
I'm digging
It
the
does.
look. Cool.
See, that's interesting you're saying that, James, because I'm looking at them and I'm thinking if Sorrel hadn't said these are Turtles of Grayskull, would I have thought either of those were linked in any way to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe?
Nope.
No.
No, it just
Even the
looks like a really.
Skeletor?
It looks like a blacklight version of Shao Kahn, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah,
Mortal
it's
Kombat.
interesting. But
But
you
no,
know,
again, it's just one of them weird crossover ones, and I'm all for a good weird crossover. It's like I say, anything that keeps He-Man, Thundercats, all these 80s things we love in the minds of today's kids. That's all I care about.
yeah, no, I'm
Keeping
with
it
you.
going.
I'm with you. I am with you. I've actually got a pop coming. So, though I've always said I'm not a big pop fan, I won a competition recently where I won an Optimus Prime pop.
Nice.
So looking forward to seeing what that's like, and we'll show that off on the show. Fuzzy's just saying about that Human Torch, nothing seems to be right. The hair, the facial hair of the face, everything seems to be wrong. It just doesn't say Chris Evans, does it? Is the top and bottom. James, developer direct.
Now, people accuse me of being pro PlayStation, so here we are. Yeah, Microsoft had a developer direct, so this was like a kind of 30-minute sort of similar to like a state of play that PlayStation does. But it's mostly like dev diaries of like new games that are upcoming. So we have a new Doom game that's been confirmed for May 18th. It's called The Dark Ages. It's sort of like a medieval hellscape style kind of thing. You have like this like shield that has like a rotating saw on it. You could throw it and stuff like Captain America. Looks really cool. I like, not a massive fan, but I like the last Doom game that I had to go of. So really excited to give that a go when it comes to PlayStation eventually, which it will. South of Midnight is a new IP that's on April 8th. So that was sort of like it's set in Louisiana, and you're like this girl going through this kind of like
Swamp with this big fish.
yeah, exactly. It's sort of like it almost looks a bit like stop motion-y, like Tim Burton-y, I guess. Like
I think
elements
it
of
might
that.
play a bit like Bioshock, though. I reckon.
Is it for? I thought it was third person, like a JRPG kind of turn-based kind of thing. Is what the impression I got from the
Yeah,
footage
I think
saw,
it is, but I think it just a bit of stylization of Bioshock, a little bit. So
oh, like Bioshock Infinite art style, I think.
Yeah,
Definitely. There's a bit of that in there. Yeah. So that looks really cool. Yeah, it looks interesting. Expedition 33. So I'm not massive like into like RPGs or JRPGs or like you know, this is very like Final, like there's elements of like Final Fantasy. I think the combat's like kind of turn-basedy. But it looks like a really interesting universe. They've already announced a movie for this and everything. So it's like you know, the way the characters are dressed, like it's sort of like there's a bit of steampunk, there's a bit of fantasy and stuff. So the concept of it is that like people stop aging at a certain point, and that number goes down every year. So we're at age 33. So the people at age 33, I think they either they die or they have to go somewhere. Like it was something like that, where like people stopped aging at that point. So it was like sort of like an in time element to it as well. So it was interesting. And then loads of people very excited about Ninja Gaiden. So anyone play Ninja Gaiden or?
I played number 1, and it was really hard.
So Ninja Gaiden 3 was, I think, back in 2012 or so, and people didn't like it because it was an American company that took over development. But Ninja Gaiden 2, which is the last Japanese developed one, was in like 2008. It's been a long time since the series is back. It's Team Ninja, the original creators, doing it with Platinum Games co-making it, so that's a really good combo. Action looks really cool, like they're bastard hard games. But like I think we've not had like an old school hack and slash game in a very long time. And it's a franchise people really love. And then they also announced, and I love when they do this, that a remake of Ninja Gaiden 2 like in Unreal Engine 5, so like proper upgraded graphics and everything, released like as the thing was on, so it was like shadow dropped. So people were immediately, as soon as like Ninja Gaiden 4 is out, and also play the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake, it's out now. That was really cool. So like
Very
that's
cool.
available to play as well. So, yeah, really strong first party offerings from Xbox this year. I have to
Nice.
give them credit. Yeah.
Von Hoot saying that he wants to like the new Doom games, but they're too far removed from the original Doom. Yeah, I remember playing the original Doom back in the day.
They're all that speed. It's like you're flying through those levels. Like you just don't stop moving. You know,
Yeah.
like it's interesting.
Nice to have a bit of Xbox stuff, James. Nice that you're diversifying. That's nice.
They're going to come to PlayStation anyway because Xbox
Naturally.
makes PlayStation games now. Yeah.
Simon, are these you?
Yeah. So McFarlane are bringing out. It's been a while since Walking Dead's been out, but yeah, Walking Dead characters: the Governor, Therese, Andrea, and Glenn, and then a load of zombies. So yeah,
Are these new or are these re-releases?
I'm not too sure.
Re-releases.
So, the re-releases. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
Thank God we
Yeah.
have Sorrow.
So these are them 4 to 5 inch ones from Skybound basically originally, and I believe McFarlane are just repackaging.
Okay.
I think McFarlane did distribute the Skybound ones originally. I think these just like repacks basically. That's my understanding. 'Cause I've never really been into the series that much. They were in B&M for a long time, if you remember,
Yeah.
on cardbacks.
Yeah, so a lot of them in B&M. Speaking of Walking Dead, have any of you guys watched any of the kind of the spin-off series that have been out? Because we've had like a Negan-centric one, we've had a Daryl one, and I think there was a Rick
Yeah.
Grimes one. I've not watched any of them. I've just, because I did watch the full Walking Dead series, and I've just kind of, it ended for us.
It went from one show to 4 shows. Do you know? Like
Yeah.
it's like, and then it'll eventually surely come back into one show for another season or something like that. Like it's mad.
Yeah. NECA figures, Simon.
yes, so we've got the Wolfman, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Casey Jones from Ronin. So
Oh, is that what that is?
yeah,
Okay.
Casey Jones. Yeah, all announced.
I don't
not
remember seeing that in Last Ronin.
Yeah, it's Casey Jones Ronin and the
Yeah,
last
it's Casey
Ronin
Jones
one.
last Ronin that
Yeah.
That isn't the Wolfman, by the way.
Oh,
It's the Howling. It's a very old
right.
70s movie. It's the Howling Wolf, basically.
Yeah.
There was another
Jesus
studio
fucking
making.
Christ, Simon. Get
There
it
was
right.
another studio making a
Wolfman's a
Howling.
Wolfman. They're all the same to me.
No. Dude.
Another wolf.
It's like mixing Dracula and fucking Robert Pattinson and Twilight up. You know?
Am I right in thinking it's years and years since I've seen the Howling? Is that the one where she transforms into the werewolf on like live TV or something?
It's been a long
think it
time
is.
since I've seen Howling. I think it is that one, you know.
Von
It's a
Hoot's in
long
the
time
chat.
since I've seen
He's a horror aficionado. The Howling Von Hoot, is that the one where she's a newscaster or something and she basically announces on the news about supernatural entities and turns into a werewolf live on TV or something? Seem to remember that. Anyway, cool looking figures. I'm liking that Casey Jones. I don't remember seeing. It's a while since I read Last Ronin, like, but yeah, I'm liking that. Any of those jump out for any of you guys? Are you picking any of those up?
The Leatherface one, just because I need an updated Leatherface. Mine's the old, very old NECA one. And obviously the Howling as well. The Wolf, I'll probably grab that as well.
Yeah, right. Stephen Butler's just confirming, yes, she's on the news. I thought so, Steve. It's ages since I've seen it. I want to go back and rewatch The Howling. I remember it being very, very good. But I haven't seen it in years, same as Von
No,
Hoot.
me
I
neither.
haven't seen it in years. Nice. Some nice figures there, Simon. Well done. Thank you. Very rapid 1/6 scale. Speaking of dodgy looking foreheads and head sculpts, we've got an updated Winter Soldier Artisan edition. So this has got kind of hair instead of plastic sculpted hair. You do get the face mask with him and the goggles so you can cover that horrendous head a little bit. You get 3 different arms for his bionic arm, so you get some without any joints. So it's like a seamless, permanently bent arm, which is quite a nice look. Hell on about the forehead in this. People complaining about it. I fancy a Winter Soldier, but I don't know. There's something about this; it just doesn't sell it to us for some reason.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie. So I like kind of like, and one of the reasons I didn't pick up the original one, like secondhand, was because I heard about the pleather and all this. Is this real leather that they said?
I'm not sure.
using?
I'm not sure if it's real.
Yeah, so like I'm
I think it looks okay when you've got the goggles and the mask
That
on.
is
I
the
think
look
the
I would
mask,
probably be
mask
going
look
for.
would look good, yeah.
Do you know what's missing is the fucking smoky-eyed look. I don't know why
Yeah.
they don't have that. Because that's like, for me, that's like their fight scene on the bridge is like the most iconic scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the look he has in that. So it's like...
Yep. You can get a special edition of this, and it comes with the Captain America shield as well.
Yeah, have him catching it. Like,
Yeah.
But again, like he's got the smoky look
Yeah.
in that scene. So like...
So yeah, a one I'm probably going to miss. We've got another Iron Man, but this one's gold. Why? Don't know. It's gold in it. It's shiny gold. Hard pass. And then this one I just wanted to put on. Simon, I don't know if you know anything about this one. I know nothing about this particular franchise. Kamen Rider number 2.
Kamen Rider.
Kamen
Yeah.
Rider. You can get the bike to go with it as well. This looks like a cool figure, to be fair, if you're into this franchise. So the red eyes light up. The belt has got a really interesting effect where it's got like an image which flickers over it and things like that. It looks pretty cool. So I thought I would add it just to show, but I don't know much about the character or the bike. But it's interesting that Hot Toys are doing some of these different lines now. So yeah, quite nice. I won't be getting any of them, I don't think, but not bad. Sorrel, bit of Lego news.
Well.
I
I think Lego going to sue somebody by the end of this
Yeah.
week. But Mattel announced the Mattel Brick Shop, and the black background bit that's around it is what they're considering their new Lego style, which is basically Lego. It is literally Lego pieces. Just instead of it saying Lego on the little thing, it says Mattel now. But they are going to be making their own version of Lego, and their quote from them is challenging the status quo of the brick building universe. So they want to ruffle some feathers. I think they're going to wind up Lego. But Jazzwares did it recently as well, didn't they? Because they've released the BLDR series, Builder series. Theirs is more aimed at kids' mind, but they have got a chainsaw man that looks a lot like the old Bionicles from Lego from back in the day. It's like a buildable like dude, and you've got the big chainsaw, obviously. So it's weird that I think Lego has obviously been priced so high now that companies like Mattel are thinking I can get in on this and we can undercut them. That's what I honestly think Mattel's going to do. They're going to make more affordable Lego, basically.
What's like Lego's like? What are the restrictions on who can? Because I would imagine that a company like Mattel would have done this years ago. Like as soon as Lego started taking off to do their own version and try and compete in that market.
I think it's because more and more companies are doing like Lego compatible, and they're not getting sued for it. So I think that's probably it. I think it's probably they probably watched other companies do it and thought we'll have a go.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know Lego like has the licenses. Yeah, that's the kind of the hump. But like Mattel can get a few decent ones. Like
obviously Mattel would struggle because obviously they obviously rely on like Jurassic World, which is already Lego, and a lot of their franchises are already taken from them. But if they can utilize things like Barbie that isn't in Lego, and Hot Wheels and some of the stuff they
Lego
own,
Barbie Dreamhouse and
exactly,
like that.
yeah. Lego Barbie would be a big one.
I just find this so strange, and I don't profess to be intelligent enough to understand the law around patents and all that kind of stuff. But you would imagine something as big and as popular and as powerful as Lego, they would have this kind of legally so tight, that this just couldn't happen. But obviously,
You thought they'd be like Nintendo, like how they are with Pokemon and everything, and they're just straight on it, aren't they?
I guess
like
building blocks have always been around, haven't they? So there's something about the specific Lego design. I guess they couldn't patent building blocks because kids have been building shit for years. Do you know what I mean? But looking at that image from the Mattel, it looks, other than a slap of color, that looks like Lego, doesn't it? With the raised circle bits and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I like it straight up. Does Mattel have ever done licensed stuff for like non-children's IP?
Yeah. So Mattel have their what's it called? Creations, so they can do anything they want through that.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking was recently, obviously Mattel as well have Masters of the Universe, Monster High, they have Street Sharks, they have they've got so much now. But basically, they could build all these sets out of them. Like imagine a great big Castle Grayskull Lego.
Fuzzy's dropping the knowledge bombs here. Fuzzy facts. Court ruling in 2010 to say that Lego bricks are ineligible for trademark.
Why are they waiting this long? Because you've such a good way. Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's really interesting. That's really interesting.
Because like the reason I asked about like because I know Lego don't do. It's just kids fan. Like you would never get like a Friday the 13th Lego set or something.
We've got a Jaws one, haven't we? Did Lego not do?
Exactly.
Did Lego not do Jaws recently?
Isn't Jaws like PG technically, or because it came in before that?
Technically it's a PG. It's still a big shark
maybe
kids,
that's
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, how the hell I got a PG, to be fair?
Yeah.
First scenes a kid being eaten.
Literally, there's blood and everything. But like, I think that's a market. I don't know why no company has really tried to break into. Is like Lego, Camp Crystal Lake, Lego.
The full quote
House.
from them is: with Mattel's trusted legacy and expertise, Mattel Brickshop is designed to disrupt the status quo and elevate the building experience. Here we bend the rules of construction with innovative features and materials that inspire builders for something new. That is their official quote on their website.
And they're going in fighting, aren't they? They're going in fighting.
Yeah. So you can basically put your details in now, your email address, and they'll keep you updated. But yeah, Mattel Brickshop and Mattel News is the big one. But the image they've used is literally the square brick, and it just says Mattel on it rather than Lego. So it's literally a Lego brick.
I mean, I'm not going to buy it anyway because I'm not a Lego collector. But it's a great additional option for people, isn't it?
Mate, the moment they release a Castle Grayskull or a Thundercat something or other, you'll be all over it.
You see, I think Von Hoot's right here. I think there has been a Mega Bloks license from. I think I've seen a Castle Grayskull, but it looked very kiddie. Do you know what I mean? It was
that
like
would presumably expire at some point, would it not?
Yeah.
Like,
Isn't Mega Bloks Mattel anyway, or a part of? Because they do Monster High, which is Mattel.
Yeah.
That
would be cool, Von Hoot. That would be very cool. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. So Mega Bloks is owned by Mattel. It's Mattel's company.
Right.
Mega Pokemon, Mega Halo, Mega Toys, Mega Builders, Mega Bloks under the Mattel logo. So it's Mega license.
SM saying the momentum must be dead for Barbie now for Mattel. Yeah. Lego needs competition.
Yeah.
They're getting stupid with their prices. Yeah, we were talking about this before the show. Shiny. Prices for a Lego set now, it's just obscene. It's pricing kids out, you know.
Yeah, as Mega Bloks hasn't done massively well, imagine if they retired that, but then brought the franchises like Pokemon and Halo and stuff over to this new one. Then they've got an army of licenses behind them. They could just retire the Mega Bloks thing, because that's
there is already Lego, Halo, and Pokemon out.
Yeah, it's Mega Bloks. Yeah,
that is Mega Bloks. Yeah.
And Nintendo does do Lego stuff? There's a Lego SNES, isn't there? And a Lego.
Yeah,
like GameCube and that kind of
stuff.
There's
an Atari and things I talked about.
There is a Lego, and I'm pretty sure there's a Lego NES, and they announced a Lego Game Boy Advance or something just recently.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if Mattel already have the license to make those with Mega Bloks, if Mega Bloks is owned by Mattel, surely Mattel could use the license of Pokemon to make Pokemon bricks. Is what I'm thinking. I'm not sure how licensing works, if they already have the rights to make a building block version of Pikachu, surely they're going to just cash in and do a brick shop version.
Von Hoot saying this another bit of non-news of Mattel is Mega Bloks already. I think Mega Bloks, but Von Hoot is like a chunky kind of kiddie friendly. This is
like proper Lego. This is Lego. Yeah.
Interesting. Going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few months with that one. James, bit of PlayStation news.
Yeah, sort of an additional point to the could video games reach $100 or €100 kind of thing. Trump has kind of started putting tariffs on. He's threatened anyway that he wants to put a 25% tariff on China and Canada. So the ESA has warned about the impact that could potentially have on video game pricing, because like a lot of like the Blu-ray discs, for like physical media is done in China. Like Ubisoft, I'm not like a lot of the companies, like a lot of video game studios come out of Canada as well, so that might potentially have an effect on that. So like we might just see like the price just absolutely skyrocket. 25% would be
but James, he's making America great. Oh, it doesn't matter if we've got to pay a little bit more for games.
Yeah, I mean he said he'll do this, but will he? Because he said he'd do it, and then he took it back immediately and said, "We'll give
because he's using bully." Oh, let's not get into politics, but he's using bully tactics to basically be the big hard man in the classroom who forces people to do what he wants.
The irony would be it will only affect Americans. It would just be Americans paying more for the video. Now, if you want to lose the young fucking voter base, you make games cost bloody £35 more. Like so, Yeah, that's really interesting. So, like, I mean, you combine that with Grand Theft Auto. Imagine like how much.
It's okay, Montreal Studios. They're not that good anyway. We don't need Assassin's
I don't play
Creed.
Ubisoft games. Ubisoft games are loser games. Okay.
Obama pays them, doesn't he?
Assassin's Creed is
Obama
not
pays
needed
them.
in America.
Yeah.
And then we have a PlayStation State of Play for next week, so we should be getting a look at some of Sony's upcoming games, the ones that they haven't cancelled yet. Ghost of Yote is coming out this year, so that's probably going to be the focus of it. We'll get some gameplay and I would imagine a release date. I can't imagine that's coming out towards the end of the year because they won't want that going near Grand Theft Auto. I would guess this would be like a May-ish game. So excited to see that. There's some other stuff that they're scheduled for this year's Fair Games, which is like a live service kind of heist co-op kind of thing. So that's supposed to be this year. And we might get a look at Marathon, which is Bungie's new game. Bungie was the creator of Halo. Okay. They do Destiny. Like I'm hoping to look at some like third-party stuff and all. Like State of Plays aren't like big showcases. There's usually just one or two things shown. We might get a game announcement. Yeah. Astrobot was announced at State of Play, so I'm excited. I'm really excited to see more of this game. We've only had one trailer so far. Ghost of Tsushima is like one of my favorite games ever made.
So. Next show, James, are you going to come back and tell me what was talked about next week?
Yes.
Good stuff.
It is typical that this shit always cool, right?
We do it on
show.
purpose.
If we had a show a week later, I always would have had the big news. So,
I mean, if we'd done a show a week later, you wouldn't have to have shown that bloody multiverse slide again. Do you know what I mean? You could have talked about this instead.
That's well, I probably would have squeezed it in here. Do you know what I mean? You would have. But yeah, Ghost of Yote, can't wait. Looking forward to seeing more of it. If that
you didn't mention about the Switch 2.
I'm not finished the show yet. You might have that coming, Simon. Just calm down.
Is there a way to update the slides? Because I did just fucking completely forget that the Switch 2 was announced since. Fuck you, Simon.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Simon.
So the Switch 2, I didn't put a slide, but the Switch 2 was announced, and we've not seen any games for it. So who cares?
It's just but it was announced, and
I don't care.
I think today they've started, even though they've not announced a launch date. Curry's and somewhere else started taking pre-orders.
Thank you, Simon. Useful stuff to know. Useful stuff to know, Simon.
Okay.
Thank you. Simon, what shit is that in the middle? What's that? That looks like Keegan with his top off, doesn't it? Look at it. What is it?
Yeah. SH Fig Art's new announcement of figures. We've got in the top left, we've got Guts, which is from Berserk. That's an anime character.
We can tell.
And then some 40th Dragon Ball characters, which is Cooler Final Form, Broly, which is the big guy with the muscles. That's what he's called in his Super Saiyan form. And then I've got Noir with Ham. So
I have to say, I've never read Berserker. I've heard lots of good things about it. I've often been tempted to pick up the manga because that's the one people often
read backwards though.
I know that's the pain in the arse, isn't it? But that's one that people often recommend you pick up because it's meant to be a great story.
It's a good story, but it's a bit. When I watched it as a kid, it's a bit traumatizing at the end.
I'm not a kid, Simon. I'm 40
and I'm just saying. When I watched it as a kid, it was traumatizing at the end.
Okay. So. Thank you for the warning. That Spider-Man Noir, I have to say, looks pretty cool. Who's that by? It's Fig Arts, is it?
Fig Arts, yeah.
I like that. I do like that. I like the mix of soft goods and the costume looks pretty cool.
Nice that comes with two characters as well.
Yeah, the Spider-Ham. Yeah. Excited for the TV show, man, guys.
Yeah. They had to stop filming, didn't they, because of the wildfires?
Yeah.
So that'll be delayed probably. Hopefully it comes out. But still
nice ones. I like them, Simon. Very, very nice. Okay, this was announced today. This is Blade from the Deadpool Wolverine film. We're getting all kinds of figures from that. It's a nice looking figure. You get all kinds of accessories with it. A really cool base with all kinds of bits and bobs. A bazooka, as you can see, with a kind of a launch effect. Interestingly, only as a first edition exclusive do you get the iconic sword, which I think is a bit of a strange decision because you would think that that's a standard item for a Blade to have.
He doesn't have it in the movie, so
I know,
you could let him away with it. But like, I've never seen them do a first edition exclusive accessory before. That's a new thing.
Head sculpt, glasses on, absolutely.
Yeah.
Glasses off, I'm not so sure.
Is that just because he's gotten older and he looks and like
the eyes?
He looks tired.
He
always
does. He looks
that
knackered.
weird
Yeah.
though, doesn't he? Like when he's Blade and doesn't have sunglasses on. Like, is there even a point in the movie where he doesn't have sunglasses on?
Does he?
Hmm,
I would have
can't
liked
remember.
to see them showing his teeth, though. You know,
Yeah, yeah. But then I was trying. How much do I see of the fangs in the movie? I can't remember.
Not at all, I don't think.
Yeah, he like snarls once when he walks in.
Would have
Yeah.
been cool if he bit somebody's throat off. Like, you saw that.
Actually, that's a good point. They didn't really labour
Yeah.
the vampire fact of him, did
I
they? Well,
forgot he was a vampire in that movie. Yeah,
I was just excited to see Blade.
yeah.
But yeah, another nice looking figure. I've got a Blade in my collection, and it represents Blade from the first movie for me. So I'll not be picking this up as nice as I think it does look with the shades on. But I do appreciate all the additional add-ons and stuff you get for it. If you're a big fan of this particular movie, I think this is a good one to pick up. But yeah, not for me. Not for me. I'm just conscious of time, guys. Little bit of news. This is interesting. So Sideshow has announced that they will be making figures, and they've got the license to Universal Monsters. So interestingly, they've not said what kind of flavor of Universal Monsters. So I don't know if we're talking classic monsters or if this is going to be linked to the Monsterland over in Universal Studios. Either way, it's exciting. Sideshow do a whole host of busts and things as well, and statues. So they've not said what we're getting. We just know we're getting stuff from Sideshow in the Universal Monsters kind of design. So I'm quite excited about that. I think that could be some really cool stuff. Surprise announcement today, which I don't think was on anybody's kind of radar, was that Hot Toys have announced that they're going to do a line of 007 figures. So we're going to get a whole host of James Bond 1/6 scale figures, which is pretty interesting. Any of those appeal to any of you guys? Anything that you would like to see in those lines?
The monsters, if they're going to release a bunch of Universal monsters, that could be my entry into the 1/6. Is it called 1/6? Yeah.
If they were making one, then Sorrel, what would be your wish list for the first figure?
Black and white Bela Lugosi Dracula. I'd want the lines being in black and white or at least shaded. You know what I mean? Like to look like the original movies. But yeah,
That
Bela
would be
Lugosi all the
incredible.
way.
Yeah.
Dracula's
James,
my monster.
what about you?
I'm excited to see what they pull out of 007. To be honest, like, I would hope that they'll go sequentially through each actor, and just like pick one movie to represent the actor. So, like, I also would hope that's not just fucking all of them are in tuxedos. Do you know what I mean?
but Jaws would be cool.
Yeah, I was thinking Joel Simon.
Jaws would be cool. There's some Bond girls that'd be really cool, or Vesper Lind or something like that. But like, yeah, I mean, I'll pick my brother-in-law up a George Lazenby one.
Yeah, like George Lazenby.
What if they just gave us one 007 in a tuxedo and then just mass like interchange heads, like shed loads of heads?
That's the other thing. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And just
Because they could do that, and then for like another figure in the line, they could do like the most iconic outfit other than the tuxedo for that Bond.
Yeah, that's a great word.
Swappable blazers and stuff.
You do one body, and then you can be selling accessory packs for all time, couldn't you? Different suits, different outfits. Fuzzy saying Odd Job would be tremendous, with his bowler hat.
Oh yeah,
so
not just Bond.
Excited to see what they or Blofeld would be really cool. I'm really excited to see what they pull out of that. So yeah,
I think it would be cool with some of
Xenia.
the Bond cars as well. Like
I'll get the Aston Martin in there. That'd be sick.
Yeah, interesting, exciting. Didn't expect a 007 line, so that's got us intrigued. I wanted to mention this. I've talked before to you guys about Jack of the Dust, who does these phenomenal handmade, different kind of life-size busts. He's done some great ones. They're always skull-based and skull-themed. I think the last one I showed you was he had the license for Night of the Living Dead. He's now got the license for Evil Dead. So this is his Ash. It comes in 3 different styles, as you can see there. This is officially licensed. I think they're pretty spectacular.
Really cool.
I do like them.
The bloody one, I think, especially is.
The bloody one stands straight out, doesn't it?
You can tell that's Ash as well straight away. I knew you were going to say that before I even said it because it's so iconic and it looks just like him.
I love the work on the eyes as well. This will be pricey. I know I haven't seen a final price for it, but the last licensed one he had, bear in mind these are life size, they come on like a special plinth and stuff, so it's a museum piece really. I think the Night of the Living Dead one was around about 700 quid or something like that. The one I was really tempted to pick up, which was a Sentinel head, Obviously not life size, but human head size was around about 450, I think, or 500. I think this is tremendous. I think it's really, really nice looking. Really nice looking. Dead Man, nice to see you, Terry. The speed that slideshow move will be my age before they bring out a decent variety of 007. That is very true. That is very true. Trick or Treat Studios with the Gremlins 2 batch. Our pal Luke, Hydro Collectibles, sent us that image the other day. I don't know if that's something you've seen in shops. I don't think so, because I don't think they're out yet.
No, that photo's from Mad About Horror, the one on the left. They got them in stock this week. Who sent me stuff, and they look phenomenal.
So, pulling the slate together, went down a bit of a rabbit hole, went on to Mad About Horror, and I've pre-ordered the Gizmo. I think these will sell out very, very quickly. They're already, you can order them on eBay for twice the price as you can get them from Mad About Horror. So if you are wanting to get one of these, I would get yourselves on Mad About Horror. Gizmo was, I want to say, 99 quid.
That's grand. That's not bad at all. Does Gizmo come with a little bandana and like a matchstick?
I don't think he does.
I'll hold off for that version. I want that one.
I don't think he does. But this will go lovely with my life-size transformed gremlin.
If you come to the Sheffield HorrorCon or the For the Love of Horror, Mad About Horror do go to both of those events, and they always bring all their ridiculous big masks and all sorts of stuff like this for those events. And there's some of the stuff they stock is amazing.
Yeah. So love this. Can't wait to get this. So hopefully that'll be on its way soon. James, you asked us to stick this in. So this is from Limb Toys, who's not a maker I'm particularly familiar with.
So they've done a few things. So they have a 1/12 scale Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us 1. They also did Arthur Morgan and John Marston from the Red Dead Redemption series. So they mostly do video game series characters. So this released in the last couple of weeks. Mine's going to show up any day now. I pre-ordered this 2 years ago. This is being hailed as like the best third-party figure ever made. Like the base, the way it kind of like, references elements of all of the different games in the series, and there's like artifacts that relate to that. There's like, there's magnets, there's seamless arms, there's 2 head sculpts, which I didn't even think about the fact that I can pop one of the head sculpts on my other Nathan Drake figure and have a really nice head sculpt. I mean, like everybody I've seen that has it in hand is just saying it's like amazing. It's also interestingly, like it says unexplored 4 there, but the actual base of the figure says Nathan Drake, and there's like an Uncharted 4 a Thief's End plaque you can put on it with it. So like it has the appearance and everything of an officially licensed figure. So I've always been typically quite patient in terms of 1/6 figures, but I'm getting pissed off now that mine's not come yet. Like I'm just seeing everybody with theirs. I'm so excited to get this in my hands. Like I think and like even the way the box is, there's little like Easter eggs on it, like things you can.
I have to say, it looks very cool. I'm loving the fact that it's got magnetic switch out arms as well.
Yeah, the magnet, like the head's a magnet. I think all the joints are magnets as well, and then like you have seamless arm choices and stuff like that. And just like all the accessories that come with it and stuff like I'm so excited. I can't wait. Like it's gonna be
very cool. Very, very cool.
I'm annoyed I was hoping to have it to show tonight.
Next time, James. Next time. Okie dokie, ladies and gents, that's the end. Before we go, but we're just going to run through some of our usual bits and bobs. Don't disappear yet, because if you're here at the start of the show, we've got a new intro video. We've got a new outro video as well. So stick around to see that for the first time. But before we go, Sorrel, what have you got coming up over on your channel, mate?
He's muted.
He's muted.
Try that again. I'm going to be live tomorrow night doing my live stream, Super Sorrel Talks Toys. I'll be on 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Good stuff. Please do check that out. Always good fun. Simon, got anything coming up from you?
Nothing much. No, I'm just too busy. So
too busy. No problem at all, mate. And James, what have we got coming up on One Good Scare?
Our Presents review will go up standalone, so that's not going to be out. It's just going to be a clip from the show. So if you missed our show or don't want to watch it for whatever reason, there'll be a standalone Presents spoiler review. We talked about spoilers, didn't we? We did. That'll be up. We'll have a Dog Soldiers. I promise this week we're going to have Dog Soldiers. It's nearly done.
We filmed that.
When did
back
you
in
watch it? You watched it
2001.
like nearly a month.
A couple of
Two,
months. It's just
3 months ago.
a
Okay.
variety of a variety of circumstances. Peter's laziness and not wanting to offer to do it.
I'll join in.
I don't do much else, you
So
see,
it's- yeah,
Simon. I'm,
exactly.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be out. That'll be out this week. We will also have we have a Nosferatu review on the channel. It's doing very well. Very happy with how that's performed. And we have our standalone. We'll be doing our companion review, spoiler review in the next couple of days. So that'll be up this week, into next week at some point. So yeah,
Good
lots
stuff.
coming up.
No live show from us this Friday, but we'll be back Friday after. Stuff on my channel. I've got my review of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. First 2 episodes, that's up at the moment. Captain America, Brave New World, Red Hulk figure review, that's up. This Friday's Pop Culture Playback is a quick look at the Superhero Squad cartoon. And then I've got the first of a new line of videos, Who's Who, which are linked into movies coming out. So we've got the first one featuring the leader, and then we've got the Whacking Falcon, and then we've got Red Hulk as well coming out, all couple of days after each other. So that's all coming up next week. Next week's live show on Tuesday will be myself and Efren doing our usual monthly picks, where we're looking at the month of April. So all the comic books coming out in April. Don't talk politics. Uses Trump as his thumbnail, absolutely. Because I'm surprised Trump didn't try and ban the bloody Spider-Man cartoon.
He gets clicks, man.
It does. Well, it doesn't on this video. Anyway, right. Thank you very much to everybody that has watched. Really do appreciate you stopping by. You guys, always an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been fun as usual. And with that, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
The curtains close. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your whack.